Many will argue that the bedroom is one of the most important rooms in their home. It definitely provides a great opportunity to play with texture and color, and can also be an extension of your personality.
Currently now we're in the master bedroom of the house. What we went for was a very luxurious, very opulent, layered, textured kind of a feeling. And then to my right hand side we did a little seating corner that can opt as a little reading corner as well, and just a pause area. We initially didn't have a spec as what you would find generally in an interior design consultation. So me and the client actually went on a bit of a shopping spree, and we actually then connected with a lot of pieces that really spoke to us and that had certain elements that, make it very personal and quite opulent to a certain extent. We've done a lot of layering in terms of where we started with a beautiful natural carpet, and then we paired it with something else that's got very lush texture as well. Then looking at the bed, we actually used a faux fur, layered that again with something else that's got beautiful texture, pairing as well with the natural woods. From that going obviously to the headboard that's got a very chunky fabric that we used, and obviously refining it a bit with a bit of a diamond button finish. That's always a bit of a classy finish. The headboard is a bit non-traditional with the way that it's actually curving in at the end, so it gives a bit of a modern appeal at the same time. And also looking at the wallpaper, it's got a very natural kind of a feeling as well. Another element that we actually thought of bringing into the space as well was not going traditionally with a lamp, freestanding lamp, which you would get in traditional master bedrooms. So we decided to maybe opt for something a bit more grand, where we went with the wooden beads actually hanging from the ceiling out. It gives a whole different dynamic, and it fills up the space quite beautifully as well. So I think it's something that people do, are sometimes scared to actually go for options like that, but take a risk and really, get your own look. We've actually used an existing cushion that the clients had, which had a beautiful depth and color, and the fabric itself is made of a beautiful velvet texture. Within that velvet, we actually repeated it onto the occasional chair that's also got that beautiful mustardy kind of a tone, very warm, opulent feeling. And from there we draw inspiration to the champagne colors, and then going darker again, complementing over to the wood and all of those elements.
Applying the right storage solutions can turn your room from a cluttered mess into a peaceful haven.
We actually used a 3-drawer pedestal, which actually offers a lot of storage as well. So you can put your books and anything else that you might need in your master bedroom that you can put there. From there also we opted to actually do a trio of little storage tables by the reading corner, and again played with a lot of texture, a lot of different elements.
Next to the bedroom, everyone wants a serene bathroom environment.
In the bathroom, what we did is we have a wet section and then we have a dry section. So wet section where it gives you this beautiful open airy feeling when you shower, because it's just one big space where you can just really enjoy. And the bath is also a freestanding bath, which just creates a very luxurious kind of a feeling as well. We did a mosaic tile on the floor and then a bigger profile on the walls. So it creates a very, I wouldn't say Victorian, but there's certain elements to a Victorian style, but very modern, very cleaned up look in the bathroom.
Who says guest bedrooms have to be plainly designed? Use this space as a chance to experiment with different styles and ideas. But don't go too wild, as it is a guest room after all.
What we did with this room specifically was, because we updated the master bedroom and some other parts of the house as well, there was a lot of other pieces that became available that we actually reused and repurposed in this space. So it's not always just about bringing in the new and the fresh and the current what's hip, but it's really also optimizing what you currently have in your house. And this room literally is a signature of all the existing pieces that the client had, but just repair them together, put a bit of a different throw at it, and just a different spin on it as well. And as I said, just change the functionality of a few pieces. The only thing that we did add as well in the space was the lamps, which we wanted something very delicate, very petite at the same time, so not too bulky. Looking at black and white, it is a very, very cold and hard element to work with. So you have to be very careful in terms of what you pair with it, because it's such hard elements, and just to soften it in the right way. So what we did was here also bringing in beautiful autumn winter style colors, which are the beautiful mustards, and looking at the throw again, it's beautifully woven textures that really brings it together, I think. What we actually had was these pedestals, as you can see on my right. They used to be a soft grey with the old spec of the clients, and then we just updated them with white, because again, going with the strong elements of black and white, we wanted to do a concentrate of that, and then again soften it with a certain pop of color, which in this instance was mustard. The headboard was an existing element. This was a piece, the artwork was a piece that came out of the house as well, that we just reused here. The curtaining was existing as well, and then we repurposed the original master bedroom's plasma cabinet into a beautiful little storage optimized section. Looking at the accessories that we brought into the space, the client had certain elements like little gold locks and little ornamental, ornate kind of style things, and we actually paired that beautifully, as you can see, in conjunction with the lamps as well. They've got a beautiful brassy, aged kind of a look, so we drew also inspiration from that and actually put a few other pieces that's maybe a bit unexpected to put in a bedroom, but it's beautiful and complementing to the space as well. Everything was very structured in the space. Looking at the houndstooth cushions, as well as this very bold stripe, the black and white stripe on the curtains, we just wanted to break a bit from all of the straight lines. So we decided just to swing the carpet slightly a little bit and actually let it just basically welcome you into the space. So it just creates a bit of a different flow and a different angle at the same time. This room also is a spin-off of the existing pieces of the house. The client obviously has got a very refined eye, so some of her pieces are very vintage inspired and some classic as well. The dresses that you'll see in the space that we used also was very traditional, old 1960s, and we've updated with a coat of paint just to bring it into a bit of a modern element, but just to still actually pull the classic look through the space. The client in her spare time also paints as well, so the painting that is on the wall was used a lot for inspiration in the space, because I think it's a beautiful piece to showcase coming into the bedroom. So what we did in this bedroom is you'll see there's a lot of different patterns and different layering that happened. Starting with the curtains, it's got a very detailed, very classic inspired look as well. That was, I would say, the base of the design. And then from there we paired it with beautiful ceramics and different tones of blue as well. I think blue is such a vast color to pair a lot of things with that you can get away with a lot and actually put a look together without being too specific in your design. And then using one piece's inspiration that led to something else that paired with that again, and eventually the room just filled up beautifully with all the pieces that we brought together. Again, going back to the curtains, what we used was we just repeated that design just to bring it in, because it's got a beautiful texture and tone, but just bringing it in forms of a scatter cushion really does just bring a bit of a cohesive look in the space. Side tables, again, it's about dressing them in a guest room manner so that it's not too personal, but having a lot of textures and elements, I think, which makes it very interesting, because when you receive a guest, and I think they come into the guest bedroom, it's quite an experience for them as well, which the standard modern simplistic way would probably be to put a very traditional pedestal with a lamp. We decided to do a lot more different elements, different layering. Again, little steel boxes, magazines, ceramics, a lot of those textures coming together. And I think it creates a bit of a plush kind of a look at the same time. Also, this bedroom doesn't get a lot of light the way the client's house is positioned, so we opted to use a lot more freestanding mirrors. As you'll see on the pedestals, we actually try and actually redirect light through the space just to make it a bit more light and airy. Looking at the dresser as well, traditionally we would maybe remove the old vintage style mirrors and put something a bit more simplistic, but because of the way that this dresser has been made, it brings in a lot of different dynamic and elements, and it's such a big mirror to the space. It creates a lot of depth as well at the same time. So we focused a lot on that, and again, just guiding all the beautiful soft blues and pastels, and just to keep it light and airy and fresh at the same time.
With all the ideas you can implement in your bedroom, remember that it's possible to give existing pieces new life in any space you choose.